10 foods that cause bloating and it's making you look fat. What if I told you that there are 10 foods that you're probably eating right now that's making you look fat? And I'm talking about what I call pseudo fat gain. It's this bloated, swollen, pregnant look. And this kind makes your genes dig in just a little bit, making you look pregnant, which isn't what you're going for. And your stomach has become a lot more gassy. And trust me, I've been there. You cut out the sodas, you clean up your diet, you're chewing a little slower, but nothing seems to work. And that's actually because until you understand what's actually happening inside of your body, you're never gonna fix it. My name is Michael Diamonds. I'm a medical doctor with a background in biochemistry and microbiology, and I've coached hundreds of clients with the exact same issue. And here's the truth, bloating isn't rare. 1 in 4 people deal with it every single day. And I've even had clients drop 5 pounds in a single week just by cutting out one of these 10 foods because it was their biggest bloating trigger. Not fat, but excess gas and water that made them look fat and feel bigger than they actually are. So in this video, I'm gonna reveal the 10 foods most likely making your belly swell and what to do about them so that you can finally see this lean physique that is literally hiding underneath. Let's not waste time and dive straight in. Food number 1 is going to be sodium high foods. And I'm talking salted nuts, and I'm gonna share a list of hidden foods you're eating right now. So we've all had this. You grab a handful of salted nuts, right? And it's the almonds, it's the walnuts, right? And you're watching TV or you're at your desk, and within an hour, your stomach feels tight, your ring isn't feeling snug, and your genes are now digging in. And here is why. The salt, the peanuts themselves aren't bad, but the sodium in the salt changes your fluid balance. Sodium pulls water into your bloodstream. It pulls water into your tissues to keep electrolytes balanced. That extra fluid shows up as puffiness in your stomach, in your face, and in your hands. And remember, we want to stay under 2,000 milligrams of salt per day. Now, also the fat. Peanuts are calorically dense and mostly fat. Now, fat naturally slows down gastric emptying, so food lingers in your stomach, leaving you with this heavy bloated feeling, which we do want when you're dieting. But I call this the salty snack effect. It's quick water retention plus sluggish digestion and one of the fastest ways to make your stomach swell. So if you love peanuts, go for the unsalted or lightly salted versions and stick to about 1 small handful, 30 grams to avoid water retention and heavy stomach. And if you think that that's surprising, wait for this list. I'm gonna show you guys a list of common culprits that's causing your fat to absorb more water, making you feel fatter than you are. So remember that 2,000 number. Now the salted peanuts, in 1 serving, 230 milligrams of sodium. 1 slice of pizza is 957 milligrams of sodium. Beef jerky, 620, cottage cheese, 350. Now, this is another one that you're probably dealing with. It's sauces. These are the sauces with the highest amount of sodium. Again, the point of this video isn't to say don't eat this food. The point of this video is find a better alternative or probably just watch the quantity. And if you're fine with the sodium, right, as long as you're consistent every day, then you can have better expectations for what your weight's gonna be the next day. Soy sauce, 1,160. Barbecue sauce, 402 tablespoons. Tomato sauce, right? 500 milligrams of sodium. That's a quarter of the total intake. Teriyaki sauce, 690. And that's why you might eat chicken and rice and add some teriyaki sauce to the rice. And you're like, man, I didn't lose any weight for the last week, but you've been eating the same food and you're in a deficit. But the reality may be that you're just over consuming sodium. Now for the next foods. If you think it's surprising, you'll be shocked, but for many, it's one of the biggest triggers, and that's dairy. I'm talking milk, cheese, yogurts, all dairy products, including whey proteins. Now, let me ask you this. How many times have you had a glass of milk or a whey protein shake and you felt your stomach balloon within an hour? And you might think that dairy is harmless because it can be, but lactose intolerance isn't black and white. It's a spectrum. Some people can't handle any lactose at all, and some people can tolerate small amounts, and some can tolerate all of it. And then there are people who think they're fine, but they don't realize that their daily bloating or fatigue is linked to dairy. And I had a client who was drinking protein shakes, right, the powder with the milk every day. She couldn't figure out why she felt gassy and uncomfortable after every workout. And once we switched her to collagen-based protein powder, her bloating dropped almost immediately. Again, I drink whey protein every day, and I sometimes have it with milk, sometimes with water. I just bring this so that you could realize if you're watching this video, that could be what's causing the bloating. Now, this is the science behind it. Most adults produce less of the enzyme lactase. Lactase breaks down lactose. Now, when there's less lactase, the lactose passes into your colon undigested. Bacteria ferment it, releasing gas and drawing in water. And in milk products like casein, which can cause inflammation in sensitive individuals, you've got a recipe for bloating. So the takeaway is, dairy isn't bad, but if milk or whey is leaving you feeling heavy or distended, and the same applies for certain yogurts, try lactose-free, try whey isolates, or even a collagen protein or a pea plant protein. And I have a question for you. Do you feel fine on dairy products, or do you notice a subtle bloating after milk or shakes? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's move on into food number 3. Wheat and gluten. I'm talking pastas, breads, bagels, the baked goods, oats. I'll talk about it in a little bit. Everyday staples in most diets, but for many people, they're also this trigger for bloating. Many of these problems trace back to a group of carbs called FODMAPs, short for fermentable, oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. I will explain. You don't need to memorize that. What matters is that they contain certain carbs that your gut doesn't absorb well. Instead, they end up in your large intestine where bacteria ferment them and create gas. Wheat is high in one type of the FODMAP called fructans. When fructans ferment, they create a gas. They pull in water and leave you with that heavy, distended belly after bread heavy meals, right? So for people with celiac disease, an autoimmune condition where gluten triggers the immune system to attack the small intestine, this goes beyond bloating. Even in tiny amounts of gluten can cause severe pain, bloating, and long-term gut damage. But here's the thing, even if you don't have celiac, wheat can still leave you feeling puffy thanks to those fructans that I was talking about. I've had many clients who've just gained weight every night and felt bloated because of these foods, and it turned out it wasn't fat. It was the 2 slices of bread he was having at lunch every day. Now, what to try instead? Alternatives like rice, quinoa, or oats can be easier in digestion, and here's an important note. Oats are naturally gluten-free. The only problem is something called cross-contamination. Most oats are produced in facilities that can also handle wheat. And if you're sensitive, make sure you buy certified gluten-free oats to stay safe. Before I go to food number 4, let me know if you guys enjoy this level of science. If I don't think anyone talks about bloating, leave the video the gentle thumbs up because I think it'll help somebody. Now, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, nutrient-dense, cancer-fighting powerhouses. But here's the problem. If you eat too much raw, you'll pay the price. Now, the culprit is raffinose, a sugar we can't digest. When it reaches the large intestine, bacteria ferment it and they produce a gas. And combine that with the naturally high fiber in cruciferous vegetables, and what you get is what I call the green gas effect. Your healthy salad quickly turns your stomach into a balloon. So this is what to do. Don't ditch cruciferous vegetables. They're valuable. Instead, cook them lightly. Keep the portions moderate and give your gut time to adapt. So maybe reduce the portions and then increase over time. Now, before I continue, at Sculpt by Science, we've helped many of our clients who've had colon issues. We've had clients who've had celiac disease. We've had clients who've had ulcerative colitis. We've had clients who've had Crohn's. And why we're able to help them apart from any other company is we do 120 blood biomarkers, but we also do a thing called gastrointestinal mapping. We have the most sophisticated program in the world. And if you are interested, if you're a business owner, executive entrepreneur, or a medical doctor, and you want to become a business athlete, someone who embodies the mind and body of a pro sports captain, you want to transform your body, drop 40 pounds of fat, stack on lean pounds of muscle, I invite you to apply to work with Sculpt by Science. We are a premium product. If you are interested, it's linked in the description, first link. Now, let's talk about number 5, legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas. They're great for plant-based proteins, but terrible for bloating. They contain oligosaccharides, carbs we can't break down, so bacteria do the job, releasing gas in bulk. In fact, one study found that just 150 grams of beans boosted gas production by over 400%. And to add the lectins and phytates, they're plant defense chemicals. They help protect the seed from pests and environmental stress. In your gut, they can bind to minerals and irritate the intestinal lining in sensitive individuals, which may worsen the bloating or discomfort. So the solution solution is this, guys. For all those beans that I talked about, all the legumes, soak them overnight, cook them thoroughly and start small, or rotate into gentler plant proteins like quinoa and hemp seeds. Number 6, carbonated drinks. Sparkling water, diet sodas, and even kombucha can seem like healthy hydration choices, and a lot of them are, but here's the reality. All the carbonation is literally inflating your digestive system with gas, creating bloating that can last for hours. Here's the science. The carbon dioxide gas gets trapped in your stomach and intestines. Your body doesn't absorb gas efficiently, so it lingers, creating this visible distension. And if you're drinking quickly or pairing it with meals, the effect is even worse. So diet sodas add another problem, is that they also have artificial sweeteners in many of them, and they also alter your gut bacteria and draw water into your intestines. What to drink instead? Now, still water, herbal teas, or plain water infused with lemon and cucumber are also great. But stay hydrated. This will help you not digestively blow up. Number 7, onions and garlic, flavor bombs, but bloating bombs at the same time. Both are loaded with fructans. For some, even a few bites of a raw onion triggered instant swelling. So in 2018, researchers published a study in the gastroenterology looking at people who thought they were sensitive to gluten. Each person ate bars that contained either gluten, fructans, or a placebo without knowing which one they were getting. Now, this is the surprising result. Fructans, the fermented carb in onions, garlic, and wheat, cause more bloating and digestive symptoms than gluten itself. So if bread makes you feel puffy, it might not be the gluten at all. The real trigger could be fructans, the same carbs hiding in onions and garlic. So the hack is this: cook them. Heat reduces fructans, or use infused oils for flavor without fermenting them. Number 8, artificial sweeteners. I'm talking protein bars, sugar-free sodas, the dieting snacks, right? The ones that are high protein, and they're healthy swaps, yes. And again, I talk about all of these, but the sweeteners inside can leave you feeling anything but lean. And also, the main culprits are the polyols, also known as sugar alcohols, sorbitol, mannitol, and xylitol. They're poorly absorbed in the small intestine. Instead, they draw water into your gut and get fermented by bacteria, producing gas and loose stools. In fact, there's a 2007 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and it showed that consuming just 10 to 20 grams of sorbitol was enough to cause significant bloating and diarrhea in sensitive individuals. That's less than what you'd get from a few sugar-free snacks in a day. So this is my practical tip. Not all sweeteners are equal. Stevia and monk fruit are great, right? They're generally well tolerated. So if bloating is a problem, check your labels and cut back on the products that have sorbitol, mannitol, maltitol, and xylitol. Number 9, people aren't gonna like this one. Alcohol. First, it irritates your digestive tract, which slows everything down. Food sits longer in your stomach, pressure builds up, and that heavy distended feeling kicks in. Second, alcohol dehydrates you. And when your body senses dehydration, it holds onto water, leaving you looking puffier in your belly, your face, and even your fingers. Beers and ciders make it worse because you're getting the alcohol plus the carbonation and the fermented carbs, basically stacking 3 bloating triggers into one drink. Now, these are smarter swaps. Pace each drink with water. Choose clear spirits with soda water or lime instead of beer, and keep it moderate, keep it cool. Even small changes here can make a visible difference in a day. Now, the final one, fried and fatty foods. That brick in your stomach feeling after burgers or fries. Tell me about it. I just came from Italy, Milan, and too many pizzas, and I felt this way all the time. I couldn't wait to get back. I'll talk about that later. High-fat meals slow down how quickly your stomach empties. Food lingers, the pressure is building, and the bloating peaks. And in refined carbs and sodium, which most fried foods have plenty of, and now you have these 3 bloating triggers: gas, water retention, and sluggish digestion. The fix is don't ditch fat, just choose smarter sources. Avocados are great. Nuts are fantastic, olive oil is fantastic, and they actually support your gut health. But if the foods are greasy fried meals, keep them limited if you want a flatter, smoother stomach. Now, I'm gonna share with you a 5-day bloating protocol. Now that you know the culprits, here's the reset plan. Day 1 to 2, I call the clean sweep. Cut all 10 bloating foods. Drink half of your body weight in fluid ounces of water. Next is chew slowly, with no distractions. Take a 10-minute walk after each meal. Day 3 to 5, the rebuild. Bring in cooked veggies and lean proteins. Add gut soothers like bone broth and ginger tea. keep mindful eating habits, and track how your body feels. My client Jordan followed this exact plan and he dropped 7 pounds in just 5 days. His abs, which had been hidden under the swelling, finally became visible. And remember, this isn't just about starving yourself. It's about eliminating the foods that are silently inflating your gut and letting your body breathe again, right? So I hope that the video was helpful. Now you know what to eat, what not to eat, and how to combine them in moderation. I'll leave the video here. This video is amazing to watch. If you want to calculate your calories, if you want to get rid of your visceral fat, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.